here's what the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, told Christopher Hope of GB News. He said, and listen out for the Farage Boats in all of this. Here's the quote. I would gently point out to Nigel Farage and others that before we left the EU, we had a returns agreement with every country in the EU, and he told the country it will make no difference if we left. Well, he was wrong about that. These are Farage boats in many senses that are coming across the channel. Joe, I can't help but think it's almost reminiscent of how Donald Trump brands people and brands policies. Sleepy Joe is a good one to think of as how he described Joe Biden. This idea of kind of taking something that is a deeply politically charged issue and tying it to a person, in this case, Nigel Farage.
Yeah, I mean, it's got deeply personal, and I think it's been made worse with, the comments that came from David Lammy when, he got into this Hitler Youth comment that he made to the BBC that he then had to row back from.
So this was him saying that Farage had flirted with Hitler Youth, and in the end,
it had actually ended before Farage had even been born. But, Diane Abbott was on Newsnight last night talking about how it was she made some comment about how it could be right to give people a kicking or something. There was some.
That's right.
There's sort of just the nature of I mean, it's sort of reminiscent of some of the Brexit conversations that went on and how, I remember being on Politics Live when Will Self made the comment about how the majority of racists and bigots had voted for Brexit, and then Mark Francois was on there and sort of went, so you're saying that everyone that voted for Brexit's a racist and a bigot? And Will Self was saying, no. I'm saying that most racists and bigots voted for Brexit. And it was this sort of tried to make a distinction, but essentially we are sort of seeing a kind of divide, which is it feels like there is a divide that is being drawn that is very similar to those lines that we played out during Brexit, which I'm kind of a bit sad about, that everyone wants to relive it because it was so miserable the first time round and it pitted people against each other. And I'm already seeing comments online from people that I know and respect and like who are, friends. I'm not talking political people. I'm not talking commentators. I'm talking about people on Facebook, other mothers, other dads who are putting up comments that are quite inflammatory because they feel quite angry about the way that they feel they're being labelled by their Prime Minister because of their support for the position that reform is taking. And that's where this is a hell of a tightrope to be walking